Welcome trader to the Prop Shield Trading channel. So today we're doing market replay for our UniRenko Trend Levels trading system. So you can see how it opened up from New Year's. However, in off-market hours, you probably wouldn't be using 40 tick bars of what we're doing. So you'd see what the UniRenko Trend Advisor is recommending. The baseline default we have setting is 20 ticks. So if you're doing Asia and London sessions, it's most likely going to be aligned with that. And then here we had the open, and we're just seeing how it shakes out. How does the open look? And we have our levels on the chart, our initial balance high, and the low one is going to be stacked in here. And so that starts calculating. We have it set from market open and for the next hour. And then that's where it finalizes that over that 60-minute period. We have our what's stacked up here too with it is our current day high stacked on this initial balance low, previous day high, and we have an S1, so our first resistance level. This is our current day low, previous day low, and our bottom resistance. So we have two resistance levels, or two support levels, two resistance levels that are default on this, and those will update as the market moves. And so what you see on the chart for our support and resistance levels and the current day high, current day low, like those fluctuate. So these lines just continuously go on the chart. They weren't there at that time. So you'll see this update in real time. And so how we're going to take our trades, we have our signal panel for automation, and we're not looking to take every signal. We're using discretion. We're looking at the market. Do we think it's going to go up, go down? Is it reversing, continuing a trend? That's what we're looking for. So you're using your own thoughts trading style to determine trades. So you can get it with automation. That's where you see the printed dots that happen on bar close. And this is our stop line for the trade. So I have it set for 121 ticks from bar close. So that way it requires a complete reversal bar if it goes against us on the first, on our entry bar. And then the target, we're going to look for a level. And so we're going to put our target around there, and we have a break even and a trail system. You can also get into it manually. We have market buttons. We have buy and sell stops. You click on the chart. We have a offset one, so it'll just automatically do it. We have it set for 100 tick offset. You can use those. And then on bar close, so short or long, you can do it any bar or coordinate it with how you want the bar to look. We have our trade session on Chicago time, 9 a.m. to 10, and that is for the automation. The manual orders are not restricted by that. And so we have our long and our short both on, but it came up to the current day high. We're above the previous day high, so I'd want to turn that off using my discretion. And then our break even and trail buttons, they are not active yet. Can't do anything because we don't have a trade. So you'll see how that looks different when before we have a trade, when we're flat, when we're in a trade, and when they're activated. And so our trend on the first, how you see back here, it printed a green dot. When it transitioned from red to green, we have our gray in between, so that way we're not getting flipped around. Then we have continuation trades on top of it. There's the red. So the red right there. And then um, this one more of a continuation trade, first green. So if you don't want the continuation trades, there are settings that we can go over later in another video, but you could also just disarm the direction that you're in. And then it says it's at 62 ticks, which is above our 40 ticks. So that should be good for us. That should signify the market is going to move enough for our bar size. Um, Personally, I would probably just leave it 40 tick bars. Um, if the size was too low, I probably just wouldn't trade in this New York session. So, but users, you can use your discretion and put it lower. So if it says 40 tick on this, maybe you put your bars to 30 tick if you still want to trade it. And so today is going to, this is not a typical day. This is going to make it probably look a little too easy. Most days, or hardly any days, will probably look like this. All right. So we'll go real time. So we got in a trade. Our trade manager logs what's going on. And I'm going to first move this down, just right above there. Nice and clear. We're going to tighten this up so it has to be above 56. I'll put it there. And you see it snap back. So this is our shield stop we have built into it. Looks different than the native stop, so you know exactly what it is. You're not going to be confused. And what that's going to do is the native stop, the orders in NinjaTrader won't change. The shield stop was working with the signal panel, and that's what will help exit out the trade. So this is for like catastrophic loss. So if you have you have your bracket orders, so if you get disconnected and you don't get reconnected in time, then at least you have that. Um, Now, users who would want to use the shield stop is if you're using Trade connections and you're trading a lot, and they have the restriction of like 5,000 orders API things per hour. And you'll see on this trade when we activate the trail how much it's going to update. So if you're doing a lot of accounts, it can eat that up. Um, and so we don't want that to happen. Now, if you have rhythmic connections, you don't have to worry about it. But what still can be good about it is it's not updating the native stop all the time. So if you're doing a whole bunch of accounts, NinjaTrader isn't having to calculate all these things in the orders, which can potentially slow down your platform. And so with this too, we generally are having much larger targets than what our stop is. Now, my personal rule would be if our stop, let's just say I want my stop at 120 ticks. I want to be able to get at least 60 ticks profit. So if there was a level much closer, if I can't get that, then I don't really want to take the trade. And usually, I want like more than a 1-to-1 risk. So, but this is going to fluctuate. And so our break even, we can activate it right now if we want. We can activate our trail. And our break even is set when it's 3 bars in our favor. So 120 ticks, it'll activate. And I have it set for like plus 4 ticks. Boom, you saw a move. I'm gonna hit the trail. And there you go. You can see the log, how much it's updating. We're doing it in 10-second intervals, so that is, it's not real time. And so this in its intra bar.
Order canceled.
And so there you go. It got to our level, didn't kick back up on us that much. That's exactly what we were looking for. Now, I like, did bounce that. I worked a bit along. Okay, got in our continuation trade. So 596. Where are we going to target? Previous day low. We have it wide open. And so we're currently sitting on the current day low. It's stacked. It's probably the initial balance low. That's the other part of it because it's still calculating. But other than that, and then there's our first resistance, our first support, and then the resistance is stacked with the current day high and the initial balance high. And the one thing about the shield stop is it won't move backwards unless you add to a position. Then it'll recalculate. Other than that, if you move this native stop back, it will go back. It's just a catastrophic loss. The shield stop will stay. Um, but once you move it back, you can't move it forward because it'll just snap back. So that is the limitation in that. And how I have it set, I think I have it set for 150 ticks because I want around 120 tick stop. So that way, if I get a horrible fill, it's still at least 120 ticks because you can get slipped 20 ticks in Q and it's moving pretty easily. Now, if you don't want the shield stop and you have that mode turned off, then it's not a problem. It just operates like normal. And if we're currently in a trade, um, it won't take another signal if we're still in it. So if we get a continuation trade while we're like another one while we're in this, or it reverses and we didn't exit out the trade, it's not going to reverse for us. So we have to be completely flat. Okay, activate that trail. Should have done it sooner.
Order canceled.
Okay, got us out. Okay, I don't want to short now. We came back to the previous day low. If I activated the trail sooner, I might have gotten knocked out right here. So, which I just forgot to do it. There's a transition. Okay, so now we're just gonna put it to real time. So 505.50. Go, one tick off. And now we have this set for just default 240 ticks profit. Now again, you could decide, hey, it chopped around in this area. So maybe that's a good target. Maybe we just leave it alone. I mean, that's pretty much almost on the dot of what this stop was. Or you can be aggressive and just put it up here. Give it some room to work. break even will only activate when it's 3 consecutive bars. Okay, and we're gonna hit the trail. And, chopped around. Chopped around. You could tighten it up if you want. If you feel like, oh man, this not looking that good. We'll activate the short. And that's also the benefit of using the trail is that it'll get you out. So if it does start to transition, and it can happen quick, it it gets you out of that trade. Hopefully, using the trail, so you made some money.
Order canceled.
And see, it didn't get us in this one because we were already in this. Okay, then we'll turn the short off. We're already going in that direction. It won't stack anyway if it goes lower. And what do we have here? We have all these levels stacked. So it's kind of going between the first two, the previous day low. Maybe going back down, we'll trail it. Break even activated. That's when I like to activate the trail. And then, we just let it work. We just let it do its thing. So we're taking the trades discretionary. We're making our own decisions of which ones we want to take and not take. But then we're also incorporating some automation so that can make the other decisions for us.
Order canceled.
All right, so we have our long on because we have a good range up here. We're not necessarily looking to continue to go short. It has all these levels to break through. It's previous day low. It's shot down a lot. I think it was around 850, so shooting doing like, 400 points. And then our session stops at 10. If we go the full time, so no matter what trading system, you're never going to get like the best entries, the best exits. You're just doing the best you personally can. I mean, this came like, look how much this had to come up before it turned back to green, shoot down, turn back to red. So you're not getting in super early, but it keeps you out of getting chopped. Looks like this one would have worked out. Break even, not taken out. You're trailing it. Again, the current day low, is pushing further down. So we missed out on that trade, but it's from the previous day low. So my discretion with that, you know, I don't think there's, like enough room to continue to go lower, and that's okay. Some trades will win, some trades will lose. You just make what, decisions you feel is best, most logical, and something that you can stick to. So we're past our trade session. So now, I mean, it's not going to do anything. It's not taking any of this stuff. And then so the bar gets higher, 80. It was at 9:30. It was in the 70s. And so this is telling you you can keep this bar size. And so again, we'd be looking to go up and target the previous day low. But it's still capitulating downward a little bit. But again, this one, that continuation, you got your stop, full stop. This one, full stop. So you're just looking for the long. You got your break even, and it would just take you out of that. And again, so I just demonstration showing decisions. I wouldn't be looking to go short anymore. If it would hold up higher, so then you take the long. Now you may elect not to because this resistance level had moved down. There you go. It took it out, and that resistance was just based on this area. And we're targeting up here. But it would have just came down, or no, it's still bouncing around. We didn't get our break even in yet. We're already in a position, so it wouldn't take that. We got our break even activated right on this one. And so then we are right in here. We'll just say 87.50. And then it would have taken us out. Maybe we got a little bit of a trail, but we'll just say it's break even. And this is generally a time that it will like chop around on you. And look, you got all of these, you're at getting all these levels here. Doesn't even look good. Pretty much I would just shut it off. You're getting sandwiched here. Earlier it looked so clear. You weren't having to talk yourself into a trade. This, you'd be talking yourself into a trade. So it's just bouncing around. You're not gonna have as much momentum anymore. I mean, our bars still say we can do, okay, it's at 80. Again, we missed that on this trade. That's okay. But that's what you could target, is your current day low. Now, there you go. That's what we'd want to do. Now we got room to go up. But now it's showing, look, 44 tick. So this is when you make a decision. Do we knock it down to around 30 ticks? Do we keep our current setting? Do we stop trading? I would stop. I think it seems like for several years, looking at NQ on 40 tick, it's held up pretty well for what the size of the product is and how fast that it moves. And so you could utilize this style of chart to other, gold, crude oil, other things that move, and you just use the UniRenko bars like advisor to determine, oh, okay, what is a good, range that it should be set in. So if you look at days, it's probably going to take a lot of testing, but a lot of days of, like where does it move and stuff like, what setting. Or you can just default to, oh, okay, whatever it is, you go maybe 2/3 of that. So I like 40 tick NQ, and it was saying 60 plus ticks. So that's around 2/3. And we had it shut off and stuff, but here, again, no break even. You still had room to go up. So again, this is just not a good time. Now it dropped down to 34. Like, definitely not trading that. As you can see now, it's just chopping even more. I mean, you don't got, after this time, it starts chopping around, a little bit of a clean line, but then that stuff stops. You chop, chop way up here, chop way down here, chop here. It's not clean at all. So again, and that could also signify of the bar size. We are using too large bars for that time. So we're just going to stop it there. So now just scrolling back, see a lot of the lines updated, just the previous day high and previous day low. Purples are the only ones that stay. And so this, I believe, will also scale more of like a future-proof situation. We're using UniRenko bar visors to let us know how big those should be, of what, like what range we want to trade in. That's how we can adjust our bars, or you pick a good bar size of what generally would work, and you choose to trade or not to trade. And so it doesn't matter of how large, if NQ is 50,000 or 12,000, you're going to use this as a guide. So if it's at 50,000, we're probably trading at 80 tick bars by then. If it was down to 12,000, we'd be down to 20 tick bars. So, and so along the way, you could scale up with that. And then, that determines your stop. So if you're at 20 tick bars, your stop is 60 ticks. You're at 80 tick bars, your stop is 240 ticks. And then you just adjust your position size with micros. So in the next video, I'll do just kind of go more of the settings and the build log.